Boker Tov, Shavua Tov. Today's daf is daf Gimel in Shavuos. Shavuos began yesterday. Today we'll start from the bottom of Beis and Beis after the Gemara. Again, we learned for Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael Sum B'Tzar V'Shivya as we're entering a new phase of the war. Michti says the Gemara, Tanami Makos. So we just finished learning Makos, right? On Friday we made a siyum on Makos. Ma'aseh the Tani Shavuos. Why are we learning Shavuos right after Makos? What does Shavuos have to do with Makos? The Tani Bishum the Tani, because we learned at the end of Shavuos. Remember, we were talking about shaving. If you round off the corners, your sideburns. If you round them off, you don't have sideburns. You're chayiv one for one side and one on the other side. It's one lo sakifu pas roshchem, but you're chayiv on each and every one. In addition to that, the Gemara says at the top of Gimel Val Zakan, this is quoting the Gemara at the end of Makos, Val Zakan, on the beard, shtaim mikan, two on each side of your face, and then one v'achas milamata, and one at the chin. Remember, we had like a 6-7 way machlokas. What are the two sides on each side? It's on each side, obviously, but where on the side? Is it like the cheekbone and the and where the jaw and your like jawbone? What exactly is that? But in any case, you're chayav for taking a razor to 5 parts of your face. But on the part of the lo sakiv rashochem, taking off your sideburns, you're chayav 2, even though it's one mitzvah. The mechayev lo tarti, you're chayav 2. If you take off each sideburn, you're chayav 2. So because there we find this idea that there's one lo sakiv bas roshchem, and you're chayav on each side, a total of 2. Tana shvuas shtaim shein arba. So we also learn this idea of shvuas, which is talking about a shvuah. We call it about shvuas bitui. Yeah, the parsha in Vayikra, Parakeh talks about a shvuas biti. You say, for example, I'm going to eat, I promise, I make a shvuah in the name of God that I'm going to eat this tuna sandwich, or that I'm not going to in the future. So there we're talking about 2, shvuah shtayim, shein arba, which is really 4. Why? Because the pasuk is lahara lahetiv. You're going to do something, you're not going to do something. I'm going to eat it, or I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to starve myself, I'm going to have a sandwich, or I'm going to starve myself. That's the 2 that it says beferish. And the drasha is even on things on the past. For example, I ate a sandwich yesterday, or I didn't eat a sandwich yesterday. Talking about the past. That's the 4. 2 is on the future, 2 more on the past. 2, which is 4. Okay, so the first question is answered. Why is Shavuos after Makos? Because there we talked about where there's 1 lo saseh and you're chayiv 2. So here we talk about 2, which is 4. In other words, where you actually there's more chiyuvim than what says beferish in the pasuk. So there we talked about 1, which is chayiv 2, machayiv latarti. There you talk about 2. So here you're also talking about 2, which is really 4. Shavuos shtaim shein arba. Okay. The ma'ishna hacha the tani lakulu, ma'ishna hasam gabi yitzias Shabbos amars tigam delok tani lakulu. Wait a minute. We started up by saying yesterday, Shavuos shtaim shein arba. There's 2 Shavuos, which is really 4. And then he talks about Yedias HaTumah, 2, which is 4, meaning if you knew that you were Tameh and then you forgot and you went into the Beis Mikdash, or you ate Kachim, you're Chayiv. And then it talks about Shabbos. There's 2, Shabbos also is 2, which is 4. And Maris Degarim, looking at the leprous marks on the skin that the Kohen has to look at, also which is 2, which is 4, but he doesn't describe the last 2. When it comes to Shabbos and when it comes to Maris the Gom, it doesn't mention it. When it talks about Shavuos, we talk about Shavuos Shtaim Shein Arba, making an oath, 2, which is 4, and then Tumah, and then the whole Mishnah, the rest of the Mishnah on Beis Malaf and Beis Meis went on to talk about Yedias HaTumah. So what? But when it comes to Shabbos and Magom, they're not discussed at all. So that's the next kasha. The first kasha is answered. Why do we learn Shavuos after Makos? Because there's 1, which is 2, and this is 2, which is 4. But you didn't mention any details, right? But when it comes to Shavuos, which we're going to see many of the details later on in this Masechet, and the first 2 prakim talk about basically Yedias HaTumah. That's the Mishnah. Before we get rid of this here at the beginning of the Gemara, like you have many Masechtas, first takes care of the housekeeping. You know, why was this Masechet mentioned after this Masechet? Why is this mentioned? Why is that not mentioned? So here the question is, why isn't Shabbos and the Goam, which is mentioned in this, why aren't those details discussed here at all? It says, Amri Shavuos v'Yedias HaTumah, the Gabi Adorik 7, Shavuos and Yedias HaTumah, which are written next to each other in the Parsha of Vayikra Hey, where it talks about Shvius Biti. I'm gonna eat the sandwich, I'm not gonna eat the sandwich. Or Yedias HaTumah. If you knew you were Tumah, you forgot you were Tumah, and went into the Beis Mikdash, those are both discussed in Vayikra Hey. V'damin Yadadi and V'damin Yadadi b'Korban Al Yard, and they are both significant. And we talk about because both of them have a similarity, rather not significant, but they're both similar. That there's a carbon oliveyard. A carbon oliveyard means it's not a fixed carbon. It's not a standard animal, a kifsa or a seira or a seir or a par or whatever. It's not a fixed animal, but rather it depends. If you're wealthy, you bring an animal. If you're poor, you bring birds. If you're very poor, you bring a flower offering. Not the same carbonas we discussed in yesterday's parsha. If you listen to the parsha Tazria Matzorah, a lot of karbanos over there mentioned, right? A lot of karbanos that a woman who gives birth has to bring birds, and if she can't afford it, she brings a kevis, and if she can't, she brings birds. And we talked about a zav and zava later on, and a metzora, many different karbanos that are discussed over there, right? And they're also there. Some of them are also carbon oliviorid, but not exactly this carbon oliviorid, which is either an animal or birds or a flower offering. There in the Tazria Metzora, there are different kinds of carbon oliviorid, but not the same three levels. All right, so Tani Lugabi Adadi. So the first question is this: Shavuos and Yediyas Atama, which are written next to each other in Vayikra, and they're similar. They both have carbon oliviorid. Tani Lugabi, we mentioned those. Tani Tarti, Tanakulu. Once he said these two items, which are what? Shavuos and Yediyas Atuma, which are similar and they're the same parsha, and they have the same carbon, which is carbon over the ored when you made a mistake with shogeg. So those are mentioned. Once you mention those two things, which are both 2, which is 4, Shavuos is 2, which is 4, as we said before. Shavuos 2 is lahara lahita for the future, and 4, and the other 2 are swearing about the past, that I ate the sandwich or I didn't eat the sandwich. And by Yediyas Atuma, we also have 2, which is 4, which we're going to discuss. So we mentioned all the other ones, which is 2, which is 4. Okay, 2, which is 4, which is what Shabbos, as well as Maris Nagam. So the Gemara says, okay, fine. Now I understand why Shavuos is mentioned, why the Masechet Shavuos comes after Makos, and we understand why Shavuos and Yediyas Atuma are discussed first, and their details are mentioned in this Masechet, but Shabbos and Maris Dagam are not. Why aren't they mentioned? So we said Shavuos and Yediyas are similar to one another, same parsha, same carbon, so we mentioned them. So therefore we just mentioned the other ones, Agavurcha. Okay, but Shabbos and Maris Dagam are taken care of in their own Masechtas. Masechet Shabbos, one of the biggest Masechtas in Shas, and the Gom is also a big Masechet, even though it's only Mishnayos, but it's a big Masechet. So they're mentioned where they are. Here, Shavuos and Yediyas Atuma this is the area where they're the most similar, because in the same parsha and the same carbon, so we mention them together. And the other 2, Shavuos and Maris Dagam, are mentioned Agavurcha. Okay, but why did you first start with Shavuos? I understand why. Shavuos has nothing to do with Makos, except for the fact that at the end of Makos, we talked about one Aveira, which you're Chayev 2-4, which is Losakifu Pas Roshchem, and here, which is 2, which is 4. Okay, but you started with Shavuos Shem Arba. You could have started with Yediyas Atuma Shnaim Shem Arba. You started with Shavuos. So why did you start with Shavuos and Mafarish Yediyas Atuma? You started the Mishnah by saying Shavuos Shnaim Shem Arba, and then Yediyas Atuma Shnaim Shem Arba. Okay, and Shabbos and Maris Dagam were also just mentioned because they're also 2, which is 4. But then immediately the Mishnah and the 4th line of the Mishnah and all of Beis and Aleph and practically all of Beis and Beis discusses only Nagam. Why did you go to Nagam to Yediyas Atuma, not Nagam? Maris Dagam is the 4th thing that it's not discussed in this Masechet. So why did you first mention Shavuos and then you discuss in detail Yediyas before you get to Shavuos? Shavuos is only going to be starting to go into the details in Perek Gimel. Why did you veer over from Shavuos to Yediyas? So that's what the Gemara says now. So Pasach b'Shavuos umfarsh Yediyas Atuma. Why? Says I did Zut Milai, because the inyan of Yediyas Atuma are less details. There's smaller words, meaning less details there. So Pasuk, he stops in Sharilu and gets rid of them, gets them out of the way. You matter them off. It's a small thing. We got a big issue and a small issue to discuss. I'll tell you what. Let's discuss the small issue first. We'll get that out of the way, and then we'll concentrate on the big issue. That's how he likes to do with it. That's where you're done with that. Finish one thing, a smaller thing, and then take the bigger thing. That I did Sister Milayu, Pasuk, he stops. Sharilu is matra them, so to speak. He gets rid of Yediyas. So, in other words, out of the how many prakim are there in this Masechet? I think there are 7. But let's see if there's because we are there's 6 or 7 prakim in there. 8. Yeah, so 8 prakim. Yeah, Parak Shmini. Okay, so there's 8 prakim.
It's very short.
8 prakim. The last parak is very short, right? Okay, so there's 8 prakim. So there's 8 prakim, and only 2 of them discuss Yedias Atuma. So we'll get rid of those 2 first. That's a smaller amount. The other 6 we'll discuss. We'll discuss in detail Shavuos, which are more details there. That's what he says. I just pasuk Shavuos. Then we last from parak, the 3rd parak on. We'll discuss Shavuos. Then Efishmal, because there's more details there. Shavuos. Shtaim Shein Arba. Now, what are the Shavuos? Now we're going to discuss really what the Shavuos are. Shavuos Shtaim Shein Arba. Shtaim, what are the 2? Pasuk says Lahora Lahativ. That I'm going to do something Lahora Lahativ, something bad or something good, meaning something not bad or good necessarily, but more positive and negative. So Shein Arba Shtaim She'ochel V'Shlochel. I'm going to eat something. I'm not going to eat something. Talking about the future. What are the other 2? Shein Arba, which is really 4. That's learned out of a drasha. Achalti v'lo achalti. I ate something yesterday and I didn't eat something yesterday. Those are all shvuas that you're chayiv for. So we're going to discuss why you're chayiv, but if I swear I'm going to eat something and I don't eat it, apparently I'm chayiv. And if I swear I'm not going to eat something and I do eat something, chayiv there too. And if I swear I ate something yesterday and I didn't eat it, chayiv there too. If I swear something that I did eat something and I didn't, or what did I say before, did or didn't. Either way, I swear I did something yesterday or I didn't do something yesterday and I lied. On all those, you're chayiv. We'll discuss why you're chayiv in each case. Yedias Atuma, what's the Yedias Atuma there? Shtaim Shein Arba. Shtaim Yedias Tumas Kodesh Yedias Tumas Mikdash. I knew I was Tamei, and then I forgot, and I ate kachim. So I'm chayiv, and then I found out afterwards that I ate the kachim. I forgot that I was tamei. I ate the kachim by mistake, b'shogeg. Then I was informed, or I remembered afterwards that I was tamei. I have to bring the carbon over as it says in Vayikra Hey. Okay, that's tumas kodesh. The idea is tumas mikdash. I knew that I was tamei. I forgot. I touched a dead sheriff or something. Then I forgot, and then I went into the base of mikdash. And while I had forgotten, all right, while it was nela mimenu, I forgot. Then I remembered afterwards. Those are the main 2. Those are the 2 that the pasuk says beferish. Tumas kodesh. I ate tumah while I ate kachim while I was tamei and I had forgotten about it. Or I went into base of mikdash and then while I was tamei and I forgotten about it and then I remembered afterwards. Shein Arba. What are the 4? Kodesh umikdash, where you forgot that it was holy, meaning you knew you were tamei. You forgot that this piece of meat was hekdesh, and then you ate it, and then you remember that it was hekdesh. There you're also chayev, as we'll see. What are you chayev? Umikdash, the same idea, that not that you forgot you were tamei, you forgot that this was the base of mikdash. You forgot this was the base of mikdash. You knew you were tamei, you knew this was the base of mikdash, and you forgot. Then after you went in there in a state of tumah, you remembered afterwards the base of mikdash. So those are the 4 that you have when it comes to Yedias HaTumah. What about Shabbos? We mentioned just Shabbos, so I'm not going to go into the details, but what are the 4? Yitzias Shabbos, Shtaim Shein Arba. What are the 2 or 4? The pasuk says, "Beferish, don't take anything out from your house into the street, from Rishus Yach to Rishus Rabbim." So how do you take him out? Either Otzah the Ani, Otzah the Balabais. The Balabais presumably is in the house. The Ani is coming. He's begging. He's outside. So either the Ani sticks his hand into the house through the window, picks up something and takes it out into Rishus Rabbim, or the Balabais takes it from his house and puts it outside the window, takes it and throws it through the window into Rishus Rabbim. He picked it up and he put it down. Either the Ani picked it up and he took it out and put it down, then he's chayiv, or the Balabais picked it up from inside the house and took it outside. Remember the beginning of Shabbos talks about there, let's say they handed it to one another if neither one is chayiv there. But if one person did the whole thing, he's chayiv. Shein Arba, what are the 4? Hachnosa Dani, Hachnosa Balabais. Not that they took it from Rishus Yachid into Rishus Rabbim, but rather they put it into the house. Either the Ani put it inside. Maybe he took something and put it inside. What he took probably was the receipt that he showed you from last time, from a year ago. He's handing you the receipt now to show you what you gave last year to make sure you give the same thing or more now, right? He took the receipt from last year from outside the house and put it inside. Why is he schlepping on Shabbos? That's a bad example because he wouldn't give you the receipt on Shabbos, but looking for money on Shabbos. But whatever it was, he took something from outside Rishus Rabbim, from Rishus Rabbim, put it into Rishus Yachid, or the Balabayas. The Balabais stuck his hand out from the house, from inside the house, into the Rishus Rabbim and took something in to the house that way. Those are the 4. Again, the two main ones are from Rishus Yachid to Rishus Rabim, either the Ani or the Balabayas, and the other two, comprising a total of 4, is bringing it in from Rishus Rabim to Rishus Yachid. Maris Dagam, what are the appearances of leprous marks? Shnaim Shein Abra Shnaim or Sa'es and Baharis, the two that the pasuk is beferish, a rising or a bright spot, or some say a wool white coloring. It's a discoloration of the skin, so it's a spot on your skin. So it's either like wool white, that's Sa'es, and Baharis is more of a bright spot, like snow white. Shein Abra, what are the 4? Sa'es v'toldosa, Sa'es, the rising or the wool white discoloration, and its derivative, which is called sapachas, Rashi points out, and Pasuk talks about that too. Baharis v'toldosa, or the bright spot, the snow white spot, and its derivative. So those are your 2, which is 4 in each case. Now, our Mishnah says that when it comes to Tumah, right, the first one that we're going to deal with is the Tumah, meaning you were Tameh. You became Tameh Lameis, Tameh for Sheretz. You were Tameh, and you went into the base of Mikdash in a state of Tumah, forgetting that you were Tameh. Or you ate Kachim in a state where you forgot you were Tameh. Or the other 2 are where you forgot that this was Kachim, or you forgot this was the base of Mikdash. So the Gemara first says, "Money mastis." And who does our Mishnah go like? Lo Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Kiva. There's a machlokas Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva. We're going to talk about that, or not really directly a machlokas, but our Mishnah doesn't go like Rabbi Shmuel or Rabbi Kiva for different reasons. You Rabbi Shmuel Amar ein chayiv ela asad level. The pasuk says when it comes to making the shvu and vayikra, it says lahora alahativ, for negative or positive, not only for the future. Lahora alahativ, I'm going to eat something. I'm not going to eat a sandwich, or I'm going to eat a sandwich, and then you forgot about your shvua, and you were over on the shvua. You have to bring a korban olav v'yorei. Okay, that's what Bach says. Rabbi Shmuel says you're only chayiv on the future, not on the past. We just said in the Mishnah that there's 2, which is 4, 2 in the future, 2 in the past. Well, Rabbi Shmuel says you're only chayiv on the future, not on the past. So our Mishnah can't be Rabbi Shmuel. Here, Rabbi Kiva Homer al helam tumu chayiv and chayiv alam mikdash. Here, when Rabbi Kiva holds that you're only, when it comes to forgetting about. Rav Shmuel says you're only chayv in the future, right, in the past, when it comes to shvuos. When it comes to helam tumah, Rabbi Kiva says you're only chayv if you got your tumah and you went into the base mikdash or ate kachim. But ain't chayv al helam mikdash. You're not chayv on forgetting this is the base of mikdash. You're not chayv for that. So then you don't have 4. Remember, when it comes to the shvua, the 2 and the 2, which is 4, 2 is the asid, the future, 2 is the past. I ate it or I didn't eat it. Rabbi Kiva says you're not chayiv on the past, so Mishnah can't go like Rabbi Kiva, can't go Rabbi Shmuel rather. Shmuel says you're not chayiv on the past, you're only chayiv on the future. Rabbi Kiva says when it comes to tumah, you're only chayiv if you forgot you were tameh. If you knew you were tameh, but you forgot this was the base of Mikdash, or you forgot this was Agdish, you're not chayiv there. So when it comes to shvuas, our Mishnah can't go like Rabbi Shmuel. When it comes to tumah, our Mishnah can't go like Rabbi Kiva. So who does our Mishnah go like? The Gemara says, I can go like either one. I'll tell you why. When we say there are 2, which is 4, doesn't mean you're chayiv in all 4. It means that there are 4 cases. There's 2 basic cases, which develops into 4 in the case of shvu, including the past. Swear about the past. And when it comes to helam tumah, there's 2. The main 2 are you forgot you were tamei and you went to the base mikdash, or you ate kachim. The other 2. Which is what? Which is, I forgot that this was the base mikdash, or if I got this was hegdish, there you're putter on. It just says 2, which is 4, but it doesn't mean you're all chayiv in all 4, so it can go like either one. So the Gemara says, Ibai said Rabbi Shmuel, me'en l'chiv, me'en l'ptur. Some are chayiv, but there's 4 cases. It doesn't say you're chayiv in all cases. All Rabbi Shmuel says you're not chayiv on the past, on the shvuos on the past. Okay, but there's 4 cases. You're chayiv only in the future ones, not in the past one. Ibai said Rabbi Kiva, or you can go to Kiva, me'en l'chiv, the same thing. Rabbi Kiva says there's 4 cases. Yeah, helam tumah and helam mikdash, we'll call that. But on helam tumah you're chayiv, on helam mikdash you're not. So maybe a mission can go like either one of them. Says the Gemara leftur. You say some of them, when it says 2, which is 4, you think on 2 you're chayiv and 2 you're potter, and it can go like Rabbi Shmuel or Rabbi Kiva. Says the Gemara on Amid Beis, hadumi damaris the goyim. But we talked about 2, which is 4, when it comes to what? Shvuas, when it comes to Yediyas Atumah, when it comes to Shabbos, when it comes to Maris Negoim, and they're all 4 chiv. Hadum Yidam Maris Negoim Tani. Mahasam Kuluchav there, it's all chai for. What do you mean? All the various discolorations that you have, they're not for being putter, they're all for chayiv. That you're chayiv even on the toldos, right? Negoim, and after you become Torah, afterwards you bring the carbon. So there you're chayiv on all 4. So we have a problem. Who does our Mishnah go like? Says Gemara, Lolam Rabbi Shmuel. It goes like Rabbi Shmuel, who said you're only chayiv on the future, not on the past. When Rabbi Shmuel says you're not chayiv, if what? I swear, I forgotten that I had a sandwich yesterday, and I swear that I didn't eat a sandwich yesterday. Or I swear that I did eat a sandwich yesterday when in fact, I did not eat a sandwich yesterday. So Rabbi Shmuel says you're not chayiv in the past. When he says you're not chayiv in the past, that's for a carbon when you did b'shogeg. I forgot what I had done. And is there a question? Is it mechayev a carbon? But avol malchus chiv mechayev. He says you are chayev if you knew what you were doing. Somebody said 100 people were here yesterday and saw me eat a sandwich, right? And they said, and I swear I didn't eat a sandwich yesterday. And they say they warned me. If you swear that you didn't eat a sandwich, you're going to be chayev malchus. You're lying. And there's Adam and Asra. Then you are chayev. When Mishmal says you're not chayev in the past, that's only if you forgot something. It was b'shogeg. And are you chayiv a carbon? No, you're not chayiv for the past. Because when the pasuk says you're chayiv a carbon, this parshan Olav Yored and V'yikrahei, we're talking about b'shogeg and being chayiv a carbon. There, it's only on the future. But if you swear about the past, you're potter from a carbon. But if you did it on purpose, you're chayiv malchus. Ava malchus chuv mechayiv. You're chayiv. Why you chayiv? Who could Rava? Now we get into Rava's idea here. Dama Rava, the favorite satosh shvuah sheker dum yid shvuah shav. What do we mean by that? That the Torah was marba, shvuah sheker, I swear about something. Remember, an oath like this has no action. Now, we're going to talk about, right, when we've learned before, we had makas also, we had the machlokes. If you do something, a lav shein b'maisa, you did no action, can you get malchus for that? So he says over here, this everybody holds, even though there's a machlokes, we're going to see a machlokes about that, but everybody holds by shvuah sheker, that shvuah sheker is like a shvuah shav. How's that? What is a shvuah shav? Rashi explains shvuah shav is where I swear that this stone is really made out of gold. It's very clear that it's not, but I'm talking about something which is here already. I'm not talking about the future, going to do something in the future. If I say this is made out of gold, that's a lie, right? That's a naked lie, as they say, a naked lie. And it's talking about something which is here already. So it's in the past. And this stone is made out of gold. No, it's not. Same thing, Rashi gives the example. If I swear that man is a girl, that's a shvuah shav. It's a lie which is clearly evident as soon as I made the shvuah that I'm lying. As soon as I said it, it's clear that I'm lying. That's a shvuah shav. Favorite shvuah sheker, do me the shvuah shav. What's a shvuah sheker? I swear that I ate a sandwich yesterday. That's not clearly evident right away. It's possible that I did. It's not obvious to anybody standing there that I'm lying. But a shvuah sheker is like shvuah shav. What does it mean? Ma shvuah shav l'sha'avar. Just like shvuah shav is sha'avar and yechayiv. Av sheker nami l'sha'avar when you do a lav. So okay. So now let's just see this Rashi first. This is a really important Rashi. Rashi in the fourth line from the top of the page. Rav says, "Kloma imtom alav shem b'maisu." What do you mean? Shvuah sheker is a ma'asu. See, let's understand something. We talk about the four shvuahs about sandwich, right? I swear that I'm going to eat a sandwich and I don't eat it. Is there any action involved? No. That's a problem. No action, right? If I swear I'm not going to eat a sandwich and then I eat the sandwich, there's an action. That could be chayiv, right? There's an action involved. What if I swear in the past? If I swear in the past, there's no action involved. I'm swearing about something that took place yesterday. That's a shvuah sheker. So he says, here, says Rashi in the fifth line, here you do get malchus, even though normally we could say, even the one who holds that lav shem b'maisa ain't lokav, here you do kerava. The parak gimel aminam shalokan al shvuah shav. There you get a shvuah shav. V'afina michi. Why do you get malchus fair? Because it says ki lo yinaka Hashem eis asher yisah shmo lashav. Right? Hashem will not find you innocent. I think more dashens avol bezin malkan also. Hashem won't find you in it. Right? Ki lo yinaka Hashem. Hashem will not, clear you, punish you for that. Avol bezin malkan also. Hashem won't find you innocent and do his thing. And as they'll clear him up, they will purify him. And as Hashem won't purify you, that's a terrible thing. But Bezin will purify you. They'll give you malchus, and you're cleaned off that way. What is that? To change something which is known. I swear that a man is a woman, not. I swear that this stone is made out of gold. The shav mashmadavar she'eino shel klum. It's meaningless. How could you say that this stone is made out of gold? It's clear to anybody that it's not. It's a shvuah shav. It's a meaningless shvuah. Kamo Moshe Chayev and Bechavle Shav. It's meaningless. Shvuah Sheker Manola. What about Shvuah Sheker? Shvuah She'ena Nikar Imam Mesulab. I swear that I ate a sandwich yesterday. I didn't eat a sandwich. It's not clear that I'm telling the truth or not. How do we know Shvuah Sheker is like that? Because it says Lashav twice, base pum. Mainly Shvuah Shav, to eat the Shvuah Sheker. Amarav Hasam, Hach Shvuah Sheker. The Kamabina Mebui, the Shav Shav. Lorubsata El Sheker Lishavar. Talking about I swear I did something or I didn't do something. Or Achalti, Lo Achalti. Shemishah Shenishba Yatsa Shvuim Piv Lisheker. As soon as I swore, it's a lie. When I swear I'm going to do something or I'm not going to do something, that's in the future. It's not a lie yet. But if I swear I did something yesterday and I didn't, or I swear I didn't do something and I did, that's a lie as soon as it came out of the mouth. That's similar to Shvuah Shav, which are saying this stone is made out of gold. It's a Shvuah Shav, which is clearly evident already that it's a lie. So therefore, he says like this. So he says like this. Back in the Gemara now, in the fourth line, could Rav, like Rav says, because we have two psukim that says shav shav twice, two words twice. Ma shav l'sha'avar, just like shav is meaning about the past, because it's evident now that it's already a lie. I swear this stone is made out of gold. That's clearly a lie. Shava av sheker nam l'sha'avar, and there he says that and there even Rabbi Shmuel, everybody agrees that you get malchus on that. When Rabbi Shmuel says you don't get that the shvuah shnaim shein arba, that you're not chayiv on the past. He means you're not chayiv a carbon if you did it b'shogeg. But if on purpose, if you swore falsely with Edom and Asra, you would get malchus for swearing falsely about the past. So Bishla, now the Gemara goes into this detail. Bishla machalti below achalti. I swear I ate something or I didn't eat something. Kadarava, okay. Even though there's no action involved, right? I swear I did something yesterday. I swear I didn't do something yesterday. Is there any action involved? No. There's no action. I'm talking about something in the past. Okay, but Rava says you're chayiv malchus over there, special drasha, just like shvuah shav you're chayiv. If I swear, if I would have swear to God that this stone is made out of gold, that's a shvuah shav, and I get malchus for that. If Edom and Asra, get malchus for that, right? And shvuah sheker is like that too. I swear I did something or I didn't do something. It's talking about the past. That's there. You're chayiv malchus like Rava. Shelo ochel v'ochel also. Now talking about the future, the ones that are says in the Torah lahar lahativ. If I swear what? If I swear that I'm not going to eat something, I swear I'm not going to eat a sandwich today for lunch, and then I eat a sandwich for lunch. There's an action involved. I should get malchus that I can understand. Not me lav sheish b'masu. Okay, so if there's Edom and Asra, I get malchus, right? Ela ochel below ochel. I swear I'm going to eat something. Ochal, I guess is the word. I swear shvuah shelo ochal, that I'm not going to eat something. Below ochel, and I didn't eat something. What's the action is involved there? It's not a shvuah sheker. Shvuah sheker means I swear something now about the past. I did or didn't do something like shvuah shav, something already in the past. So there's a special rebbe, you get malchus there, even though it's lav shem b'maisa. But if talking about the future, if I swear I'm not going to eat something and then I eat something, okay, as soon as I ate something, I'm over with a maaseh and I should get malchus for that. But if I swear I'm going to eat something and I don't do anything, there's no maaseh. Why would I get malchus? Lav shem b'masu. So that's the question. And we're saying now our Mishnah goes like Rabbi Shmuel. Because if the Mishnah goes like Rabbi Shmuel, it's shnaim shein arba. The two in the future, that's the carbon. The two in the past is malchus if you had Edom and Asra, you did b'mezid. So how does our Mishnah go? How does the Mishnah deal with I'm going to eat something? I swear I'm going to. It's not a shvuah sheker. And then when the day goes by and I don't eat anything, I'm over. But there's lav shem b'maisa. So Rabbi Shmuel lav shem b'maisa lokan love. That's the pshat. Rabbi Shmuel is lav shem b'maisa. You do get malchus on. If that's the case, hihachi kasha Rabbi Yochanan. So if our Mishnah goes like Rabbi Shmuel, well, it's lav shem b'maisa lokan love. What's the lav shem b'maisa? I swear I'm going to eat something, and then I don't eat it. There's no action involved. I didn't eat it. Just the day went by. I didn't do anything. Shev al tas. I didn't do anything. So still, you get malchus. Goes like Rabbi Shmuel. We have a kasha of Rabbi Yochanan. Why? Stephen Yochanan. Don't Rabbi Yochanan because Stam Mishnah. Our Mishnah is a Stam Mishnah. It's authorless. It's anonymous. Rebbe listed it with no names, as if to say that's the halacha. And Rabbi Yochanan says the halacha is like a Stam Mishnah, which would indicate that a lav shein b'masa lokan a lav, because he said Mishnah goes like Rabbi Shmuel. Stam Mishnah halacha is like him. Veitmar shvuah she'ochal kikar zehayom. Rabbi Yochanan says elsewhere that if I swear I'm going to eat this loaf today and I didn't eat it, they both say, you don't get malchus for that. So here's your steal right away. On the one hand, Rabbi Yochanan says that loch is like a stam mishnah, and our mishnah, Rabbi Shmuel says lav shem b'maisa lokan alav. On the other hand, Rabbi Yochanan says beferish that if you swear you're going to eat a loaf of bread and you don't eat the loaf of bread, you don't get malchus because it's a lav shem b'maiser. Rish Lakish says it's a different reason. Rish Lakish says we had this in malchus also. Rish Lakish says ain't a loka because asra suffix, losh masra. And Rish Lakish could go like Rabbi Shmuel that lav shem b'maiser loka and a love. The reason you don't get malchus over here is because it's asra suffix. Because when are you going to get malchus? Malchus is only if there's Adam who warned you and said you said you're going to eat the bread. You're going to eat the bread. Okay, eat it right now, right? But they're not warning you all day. So it's not immediate. So it's only asra suffix. The warning is only possible. Asra suffix losh masra. That's where Rish Lakish says you don't get malchus. But the point over here is this: we have a Stephen Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan on one hand holds apparently like halachas like our Mishnah that lav shem b'maisa lo gonna love. The case of ochal, I'm going to eat it and I didn't eat it. It's lav shem b'maisa. You still get malchus for that apparently according to Rabbi Yochanan. According to our Mishnah, and Rabbi Yochanan says halachas like Mishnah, and the other Rabbi Yochanan says lav shem b'maisa ain't lo gonna love. The answer is Rabbi Yochanan stam achrin ashkech. He found another stam. Yes, Rabbi Yochanan says halachas like a stam mishnah normally, but he had two stam mishnahs here which contradict one another. What's the other stam mishnah? Our stam mishnah apparently holds lav shem ma'isa ain't local love. Rabbi Yochanan has another stam. Why? Hey stam, which stam are we talking about? Where do you have another anonymous mishnah that apparently is mashma from there that lav shem ma'isa local love? Ilay ma'isa, if it's this one, the Tanan. Avala Moser, Korban Pesach. If you left it over, you have to eat it at night. Leila Seder. If you leave it over till the next day. Bator, and it's a kosher Korban Pesach, but you left over till the next day, or a shover betame, or you broke the bone of a Korban Pesach which was tame. Ain't you don't get malchus over there. As ain't because you don't get malchus. But bishlam a shover betame if you broke the bone of a Korban Pesach which was tame. The chsiv etzem lo sishbrudav. Don't break the bone. Because of lo puzzle, only if it's a real good Korban Pesach. If it's no good, if it's puzzle because it's tamei, there's no losa. I understand why you don't get malchus for breaking the bone of a Korban Pesach which is tamei. Avalamosa b'tar. If I left it over till the next day, a regular Korban Pesach that I didn't finish eating at night, and for the next day, why are you putter from malchus? My time, alav mishum davar lav shem b'maisa, cholav shem b'maisa, ain't no love. So there's your stam mishnah. Why do you say you don't get malchus over there? If you left over, you don't get malchus because it's lav shem b'maisa. I didn't do anything. I fell asleep at the table drinking too much wine and morer, and I didn't. I left over the next day. And there's no maisa there. Cholav shem b'maisa. Look, there's your case. So there's your case apparently where Rabbi Yochanan has a stam mission which says lav shem b'maisa ain't lokan love. So that's why he has two stam missions. Our mission says lav shem b'maisa lokan love, and there's a stam mission which says lav shem b'maisa ain't lokan love. So it's more who says. How do you know it goes like Rabbi Yaakov who says that's the reason? Don't lav shem b'maisa ain't lokan love. Dilma Rabbi maybe goes like Rabbi Yehuda. Umishum deba kosalik nesa as acher lo sasei. Like we had in Makkah several places back in Dalit, back at the end of the Masechta. Rabbi Yehuda says the reason you don't get malchus for leaving over the Korban Pesach the next day is why? Because it's a lav hanitikli asay. You left it over. If you left it over, you were over. But you should get malchus. But there's a way out of it by burning it the next day. But if it wouldn't be, it's a lav, let's say, maybe you would get malchus even though it's a lav, she'ein bo maaseh. So how do you say that that's the stam mishnah? Why? Where do we see this machlok Rabbi Yaakov and Yehuda? Tanya, again, we had this in Makkos. Tanya, don't leave over the Korban Pesach the next day. If you did love over ad boker until the morning, but if you got to burn it, gives you an assay to repair, to fix the los assay. Lomar she'ein lokan lav divrei. That's the reason you don't get malchus because it's a lav, let's say. But in terms of lav shem b'maisa, you would get malchus. Rabbi Yaakov says the reason is different. Rabbi Yaakov Omer Lomar Hashem says it's not because lav and let's say el mishum davar lav shem b'maisa, lav shem b'maisa and lokan lav. So the point though is when Rabbi Yochanan you say there's a stam mishnah which says Hamos b'tor v'ashover b'tome ein aloka sarboim. Why didn't you get malchus over here? Apparently because lav shem b'maisa. Who says? Maybe it goes like, who says it goes like Rabbi Yaakov, that's the reason for the Mishnah, because lav shem b'maisa. Maybe it goes like Rabbi Yehuda says the reason is because of lav netikla say. So we already have a stam Mishnah which clearly indicates that a lav shem b'maisa ain't lokan a love. That's the steer that you're asking. Because you're saying Rabbi Yochanan holds like a stam Mishnah, our Mishnah, which says lav shem b'maisa lokan a love. Ochel v'lo achal. Right? So where does he find the Mishnah which says lav shem b'maisa ain't lokan a love? Elo stama. Elo hai stama ashkech. This is with the stam that he found. So like this, I swear I'm not going to eat. I swear I'm not going to eat this loaf. And then then he says again, I swear again that I'm not going to eat it. Ein shvua chalal shvua. It's sort of like ein isser chalal isser, right? If I swear I'm going to eat this loaf of bread, I'm not going to eat this loaf of bread. And then I swear again, I'm not going to eat this loaf of bread. And then I eat the loaf of bread. But I ate it. Ein chayv alachas. We're on Dal and Malaf now. Ein chayv, you only chayv one because the second shvua is not chal. Says Rashi, the me'ach at the top of the page, the me'ach shenishbal of shvua rishon. Once you made the shvua, nessus love. It's also you can't eat it. It's einus chalas v'chiyar ishta havli nishbal kaimis mitzvah. Now you're swearing to kaimis mitzvah. Tanalak aman nishbal kaimis mitzvah lokim potter mishvuas carbon. You don't have to make a shvua. You don't have to, you're potter from the carbon for a shvua. You're potter mishvuas carbon. Ein chayv alachas. Zui shvuas bitui. That's the shvuas bitui that the Torah talks about. If you did it on purpose, here he says makas, not malchus. Yes, and on the days we had malchus, right? I was saying yesterday, what do you call makas, or you got makot or makas? You say makas, that's Maseches Makkah. If you get beaten by somebody, that's called makot. But in Yiddish, the people who spoke Yiddish, they always called it Masechtas Malchus. In Malchus, like the land Masechtas Malchus. But anyway, that's the one that we're talking about makas if you did it on purpose. That's what we talk about in Vayikrahei. That if you did it b'shogeg, right? You said you're going to eat something, or you're I'm going to eat something, or I'm not going to eat something. And you forgot about it, and then you ate it, or you didn't eat it, depending on what the shvua was. You're chayav korban over yorei. Zui the chayav lazon makos. That's the one you're chayav lazon makos if you did it on purpose, right? Aval ochel v'lo achal. But if you said I swear I'm going to eat it, and I didn't eat it, lo luck, you don't get malchus. Why? Because it's lav shein b'maisa. So here's a beferish Mishnah which says, right? Stam Mishnah which says that I swear that you're. It says over there you're chayiv if you swear that you swear you're not going to eat this. You're not going to eat this. You're only chayiv one because ain't shvuah shchalisha. That's a shvuah speak your chayiv zolom. Only that one. Because you swear you're not going to eat it and you ate it. But if you swear you're going to eat it and you don't eat it, so that's a lav shemaisa. If you swore you're not going to eat it, I swear I'm not going to eat it, and then I ate it, that's a masa. Okay, you're only chayiv one because ain't shvuah chal shvuah, right? Ain't shvuah, and it's shvuah the mitzvah already to mekayim the mitzvah. But if I swear I'm going to eat it and then I don't eat it, that's there's no action involved. So that's a lav shein b'masa, and you don't get malchus for lav shemaisa ain't local love. So therefore, he found another mission. So the question was, if our Mishnah goes like a Mishmol holds lav shein b'maisa, local love, that's why our Mishnah says what? That you get malchus in 4 cases. The first 2 cases of ochel, of I'm going to eat it or I'm not going to eat it, and you forgot about it, and then it was what? You forgot about it and you were over. Okay, so then you bring a carbon olav yorei. But if you did it on purpose, you had Adam and Asra. You say you're going to do it, not going to do it. So when it comes to malchus, we said for the past special limit of Rava, that shvuah sheker is like shvuah shav, even though there's no masa. Special pasuk telling you get malchus for that. But when we talk about the future, if the future is what I swear I'm not going to eat it and then I eat it, okay, I say I get malchus. It was a maisa. But if I swear I'm going to eat it and I don't eat it, it's lav shein b'maisa. Why would you get malchus? Oh, the answer is our Mishnah says you get malchus over there means our Mishnah, which infers at least that you got to get malchus over there. Goes like a Bishmal says, "Lav shem b'maisa ain't local love." Yes, but Rabbi Yochanan is like a stam Mishnah, and Rabbi Yochanan has another Mishnah which says that lav shem b'maisa ain't local love. So which one is it? So the Gemara says, okay, so I got 2 stam Mishnahs. Our stam Mishnah, which goes like a Bishmal, is lav shem b'maisa ain't local love, and and we quoted the Mishnah which we're going to have in the 3rd parak, shvuah. You only chayiv 1, and that's shvuah bitui, but ochel v'lochel, you're not going to get malchus because it's a lav shem b'maisa. So high stama. We have the stam Mishnah in the beginning of here in the basement Aleph. We have the stam Mishnah later on brought down in the beginning of the 3rd parak. That's stam Mishnah we just quoted. Shvuah shlo ochel kikerzu shvuah shlo ochlena. That's a stam Mishnah. That's mashma lav shemaisa ain't local love. So my chazid avikihal stama lavikihai stama. How do you know that you go by this stam? Why does Rabbi Yochanan say? Apparently, he goes like this stam Mishnah versus that stam Mishnah. My chazid kihai stama lavikihai stama. How does he know which stam Mishnah to go like? Why does he say lav shem ma'isa ain't local love? Maybe he should go like this Mishnah that goes lav shem ma'isa ain't local love. Says more, and then remember that was Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish who both said in describing the case that we had of shvuah shochel kikar zu hayom v'over hayom v'loch. Rabbi Yochanan says you don't get malchus because it's lav shein b'maisa. So why does he say like that Mishnah? Why doesn't he say like the first Mishnah? So to make why asking Kashan Rabbi Yochanan, Rebbe Gufei, Rebbe, who the author, the editor of the Mishnahs, when he made a stam Mishnah, he meant to say that's the halacha. So why did he say a stam Mishnah both ways? Stam Mishnah daf beis Malv says lav shem ma'isa lokan love, and the stam Mishnah in the beginning of the 3rd parak says what? Lav shem ma'isa ein lokan love. So I said, Rebbe, Gufa Hechi Sasam Lan Hacha Hachi had in one place in the basement of he passed in a Stam Mishnah Lav Shemaisa Lokan Alav Vahacha Hachi, and in the third paragraph, which is really Mishnah and Tamura, said over there also that what Lav Shemaisa ain't Lokan Alav. El Mikara Sarva Lav Shemaisa Lokan Alav. Originally he felt in Dap Beis Lav Shemaisa Lokan Alav like a Bishmol. The Susma, and he left the Mishnah that way. But Hadar Sarva ain't Lokan Alav. Then Rabbi changed his mind. And he held Mashma Mesa Ein Lokanov, the Sussman, he listed it there. Mishnah Lazazim Koma, but he didn't erase the first Mishnah. We have that many places. In the first place was his original opinion, second place is his second opinion. Rav Asher does that a lot also. He writes something in a sefer and he publishes it. Later on, he sees something maybe different, adds something, detracts something, changes something. He says, Kachi Darka Shel Torah. You come to a different conclusion, you can change your mind. Only a stubborn idiot never changes his mind. Sometimes you have to look at it and change his mind. So here he changed his mind, and the first Mishnah is still listed there. But Lamaisa, Rabbi Yochanan holds like the other Mishnah, not like in Bezim and Aleph, that Lav Shem B'Maisa ain't Lokan Alav. All right, we'll pick him here tomorrow from B'Mayu Kim to the beginning of that line. Pick it up from there. Shavuot Tov L'Kulam. Have a good day, everyone.